Want to know the secret to making people like you? It's not magic and it's not manipulation. Stick with me, because today we're diving into the psychology of building real, genuine connections, and it's simpler than you think. We all want to be liked, right? Whether it's with friends, colleagues, or someone you just met, that natural connection can feel magical. But it's actually built on some fascinating psychological principles that anyone can learn. In this video, I'll share the top scientifically backed tips on how to make people like you, without ever being fake or manipulative. Whether you're trying to strengthen friendships or make a great first impression, these tips will help you build trust and leave a lasting, positive impact. Let's jump in. Tip number 1, show genuine interest in others. First things first, people love talking about themselves. One of the quickest ways to get someone to like you is to show genuine interest in them. Ask questions, listen carefully, and engage in their stories. Psychologist Dale Carnegie, in his classic book How to Win Friends and Influence People, pointed out that people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Be genuinely curious. You'll stand out in a world where most people are waiting for their turn to talk. Tip number 2, use the power of names. Hearing your own name is like music to your ears. Research has shown that using someone's name in conversation activates parts of the brain associated with personal identity and recognition. So don't be afraid to use someone's name when you're talking to them. It creates an immediate sense of connection. It may seem small, but it makes people feel seen and appreciated. Tip number 3, mirror their body language. Here's a psychological trick that works wonders. Mirroring body language. When you subtly copy someone's gestures, posture, or even tone of voice, it creates a sense of rapport and trust. This is called the chameleon effect, and it's proven to make people feel more comfortable around you. If the person you're speaking with crosses their arms or leans back in their chair, you can subtly adopt a similar posture. If they lean forward, you can do the same, creating an unconscious sense of rapport. If they use hand gestures while speaking, you can incorporate similar gestures into your conversation. For example, if they talk with their hands by emphasizing points, try lightly mimicking their gestures in a natural way. If the person smiles, nod, or shows a concerned look, reflect those expressions. If they frown when discussing something serious, you can show similar concern to demonstrate empathy. Tip number 4, compliment sincerely. People love being appreciated, but only when it's genuine. Compliments work best when they're specific and sincere. Instead of saying that you're great, try something like, I really admire how organized you are. Compliments can be a powerful tool, but there's a twist. Instead of complimenting someone on something they can't control, like their looks, praise them for their efforts or skills. For example, instead of saying, you're so smart, try, I admire how hard you worked on this. This boosts their confidence in a way that feels genuine and encourages growth. Authentic compliments make others feel valued. And who wouldn't like someone who makes them feel good? Tip number 5, be vulnerable and authentic. One of the most powerful ways to connect with people is through vulnerability. When you share a personal story or admit a small flaw, it humanizes you and makes you relatable. Being authentic allows others to see the real you, and people are naturally drawn to honesty. People like people who are real, not perfect. So, don't be afraid to let your guard down sometimes. Tip number 6, find common ground. Ever noticed how you instantly click with someone when you discover a shared hobby, interest, or experience? Finding common ground is a powerful way to connect with people. Psychologically, it creates a sense of belonging and shared identity. Whether it's a love for the same movie or a shared background, focusing on what you have in common makes people feel more comfortable and closer to you. So when in doubt, look for those shared experiences. Tip number 7, use positive body language. Our body speaks before we even open our mouths. Positive body language, like making eye contact, nodding, and smiling, signals that you're approachable and engaged. People pick up on nonverbal cues, and when you project warmth and openness, they naturally gravitate toward you. Tip number 8, show empathy. One of the most underrated social skills is empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When someone is going through something, don't just listen. Try to put yourself in their shoes. Say things like, I can't imagine how tough that must be, or that sounds really challenging. Empathy creates an emotional bond, and when people feel understood, they naturally like and trust you more. Tip number 9, be humble and show humility. Nobody likes a show-off. One of the most charming qualities you can have is humility. Instead of bragging about your accomplishments, acknowledge others' contributions and share credit. People appreciate humility because it shows that you're confident without being arrogant. When you're humble, you let others feel good about themselves, which in turn makes them appreciate you more. Tip number 10, be present in the moment. In a world full of distractions, being fully present is a rare and valuable gift. Put down your phone, maintain eye contact, and actively listen. When someone feels like they have your full attention, it shows that you value their time and what they have to say. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard and important. These are just a few simple, psychological tips that can make a world of difference in how you connect with others. Remember, being liked isn't about being perfect, it's about being genuine, curious, and kind. When you approach relationships with this mindset, the connections will naturally follow. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, connection starts with you being your authentic self. You've got this.